This is dictation at 180 words a minute. He wrote an article for the paper. Did you read the article on stress? Is the newspaper article accurate? He writes many good news articles. She wanted to read both articles to him. Where are the articles in question? When will he determine the answer? George is going to determine the cost. Please determine the price of the dress. She determines the total every hour. He determines the results of the tests. Linda determines that on a daily basis. Everything was determined in the meeting. We determined the winner of the contest. Alan was a very determined man. Who is determining that action? Is John determining the best plan? Determining the payment will not be hard. Determination is the key to success. The judge made the determination. She showed incredible determination. We rented the apartment yesterday. It is not a furnished apartment. They have a nice 2-bedroom apartment. The 2 apartments have a nice view. How many apartments are on the floor? The apartments were not large enough. He made a complete fool of himself. Are the building plans now complete? I want a complete report immediately. Have you completed the application? I am completing my last year of school. John is completing his junior year. The element completes the picture. Be sure that he completes it on time. That completes the entire order. That plan is completely impossible. Richard is completely wrong about it. They remain completely in the dark. When is it scheduled for completion? The completion rate was very high. Completion is set for September. The air is frigid outside in February. Can you pay the freight bill? It was just a freak accident. There was a dent in the front fender. There is frost on the lawn. I think that Fred is too frugal. The baby was fretful all night. Fry the ham for supper on Friday. Put the plans on a flat surface. There is a flaw in the wood. Floyd will be back in a flash. I must say that Frida is a flirt. The device is much too flimsy. The wind made the light flicker. The pilot filed his flight plan. He will flip-flop on the issue. Is her flaxen hair a fraud? Send fresh flowers to Flossie. Be sure to floss your front teeth. The frozen stream will not flow. My friend ordered the flounder. She will flee with fright. He flew over the frozen tundra. The log was free to float away. Put the cake into the oven. We met 10 years ago. Mary expressed a sudden interest in art. I mailed it 1 week ago. How much money did you put into the bank? How much interest are you getting? A long time ago I broke my toe. Take the groceries into the house. He left suddenly an hour ago. A court reporter must be disinterested. If you are disinterested, you do not favor one side or the other. If you are uninterested, you are bored. He suddenly looked into the matter. That was an interesting comment. I was driving down the highway on my way to work. I travel that road every day. There is nothing unusual about the day in question except, unfortunately, that it was the day the defendant hit my car. I would say I was going approximately 55. I know everyone always says that, but it's the truth. I was going the speed limit. I rarely speed. Maybe if I'm late, I might go 57 or 58. Ask anyone who knows me. They'll tell you too. My best friends make fun of me and tell me that I drive like an old woman. I have never even gotten a ticket in my life. I tried to do the right thing, but he hit me and now my car is totaled. I am concerned about the points raised by Mr. Gilmore. First, a robbery is a robbery, whether property is taken from the person or the immediate presence of the victim. Immediate presence does not require that the property be taken within the actual presence of the victim. A property can be taken within the same house from one room to another as soon as one act which is endemic to the robbery takes place in the presence of the victim. Then the property is deemed to have been taken within their immediate presence. Secondly, Mr. Gilmore says that there is no sequence of events. I disagree strongly with that. I think that we certainly did present a strong suspicion as to what the sequence of events was. At the hearing, we had Mr. Stanley saying that Brian left his house and therefore must have arrived at his own house somewhere between 3 and 3:10 in the afternoon. If you recall, he said that Brian left his house saying that he was going home. The boys live right across the street from each other. So if that is to be believed, Brian got home between 3 and 3:10. The car was seen parked behind the Duncan house at 3:15 to 3:30, and it appears that Tom Wilson saw the car at approximately 3:15. Thus, if we adopt this sequence of events, Brian was already in the house when Snyder got into that house intent on robbery. Thus, it would be hard to believe that Snyder in fact took all of the property out of the house and then in some way confronted Brian Duncan. Why would he? He would have left the house and there would have been no need for a confrontation. Over and above that, entry was via the master bedroom window.